Shikwire.
Would be my friend.
Washaingia.
Kuna mtu klasi ya nchi rehani.
Kama taji kama jamii.
Katika klasi ishaanza.
Sauti ni ile sinaga hiyo.
Niweke video.
Nimeona kwa text hiyo. Kwani baba anaandika ngeni? Ana msenge vingi vimanshanga vitu. Mana bale changa
Kusoma tumalize.
Kenda dabo anje kusula kulozes.
Imagine najijua kaja ni.
Ongea ni.
Kule chirikasi ya wale la handi kenya ni just kwa kani kwa kani. Kuna kuja na anatubete la yini. Sasa na tofauti na mbona nifika. Nataka niende YouTube. Hata ni YouTube tu. Ni YouTube. Ni wangu kuchia screen kama Kiingereza ni kijama admission. Lecture ya soma sio notes. Ile wase. Mani sasa na chako registration number tamana yepo. Kitu kiporo. Wale ngerangu tu. Baliviriyani vingi vale janga vya messages alafu ngira. Mambo kulinde mungu nikaanza kulesa vile vitu.
Mwenye anaongea ni kama pamoja.
Yeah, online but just the job bado. Yeah. Kwa ndo bana banaandika. Uko top ya kanisa utile mune kwa
Najua hata data yangu itanifikisha hata saa 5. Niingie Zoom saizi kidogo ikinitoa niingie YouTube. Mimi tu kitu nataka tu kujua ni kati itakuwa lini. Jua vile atakuja compensate ile kati tungefanyanga. Ndio waende.
download wana zote. Ba download range na.
Class alafu story watu wananisinya mimi huwa sijui nimesikia sasa nini
Ni chat. Ndaba.
Niweze Mungu kabanda
Na kudia na wewe karabangi.
sasa atanifunza wewe ndio uliniambia kati yake tunaweza fanya hivi kati
Wewe unaweza vya.
tunaweza change namba hapo ni fine sasa itamaanisha wewe umeelewa class alafu urudi katae kurudi
Wewe wakile bia mjini ya kati namba. Wala chini chako na lenga kupote vizuri mbakati ya hiyo mbakati. Imeta yangu hadi Bora kuirefu kana kunyaba kwa line. Sio vile. Kulinda kidogo. Kulinda kuona topic iko soma.
University zote Embu University wanafanya mtihani. Ngoja Embu wako waenda stake na nashanga na ni public university. Walikuwa tu wanafunzwa. Maybe lakini ni faida. Bado tuko lecture 1, yani bado tuko topic 1. Topic 1 unajua topic 1, yes anatuma notes anaangalia kila PDF lakini nisomea notes zako. Kama za high school. Bado tu wanafunzi
Usikii nafanya watu wengi lakini masekondia sio wengi yangu. Na sekondia imagine kwa educational science. Tabuma masu lakini ndio mnaanza kwa
lakini si napatanga watu ni 800
Oye, hope hakuna exam date 4.
lakini unaona juzi before out of 24 hadi mwalimu ndio anashangaa chuo nipata achoke wabaki 19 ndani ya choza
tuone kwa Yana lugha gani?
We will not meet for a class.
Because of time, I would like us to start our lesson. As you know, we are almost doing the exams. As we are almost doing the exams, some of you have settled. Some of you are still wondering what's happening. So let me just check if our lecturer is around. I'll keep on checking. Let me see if I can write on the whiteboard. Last time I was writing on the whiteboard and you messed up my screen. So I would just like to, don't know if I can write. Yeah, I think I can write. Hopefully you can see my screen. I have a very funny handwriting. Just comment if you can see my screen. Is my screen is readable? So I'll just want to, just a revision of what we covered last time. Just through the chat comment, you can see my screen. Today tunaenda marathon because of time, okay? So we discuss about printers and we say that when it comes to output device, we have said that we have two ways that we can see whatever is stored on the computer. We can see that through printed output, and also we can see that through a video display unit. That's a video, video display unit. Hopefully, okay, I will improve my handwriting. So that's how you can be able to see whatever is stored on a computer. And under printers, we have types of printers, and we have realized that we have printers that print serially, one character at a time, like a typewriter, and somehow slow. Then you have printers that can print one line at a time. Then you have printers that can print one page at a time. So we have character printers. These printers, they print one character at a time, okay? Like a typewriter, isn't it? For example, a typewriter, they print one character at a time. They are very slow, and somehow they are cheap. So you can say these printers are slow. They are also cheap in nature. Then we have those printers that are called line printers. Okay, my handwriting is improving. Line printers are faster. These printers, they print one line at a time. One line is like one line at a time, while character printers, they print one character, A, B, C, D. If you are typing one name, it's just they print that one character at a time. While line printers, these are printers that print one single line at a time. Then we have page printers. These are printers that they print one page, okay? They print all page at a time. Those are page printers. Also, we can categorize printers according to technology. Let me just come here and type classification of printers. Oh. Classification of printers. So printers can be classified according to what's called technology that they use. Printers can be classified according to technology that they use. We have what's called impact printers. As the name suggests, these are printers. They are more mechanical in nature. That's one of the characteristics of the characteristics of the impact printers. So there are some pins that hit the ink ribbon. Good morning, ma'am. Yes. They have a print header that usually print the ink ribbon. Let me just write again. You have pins that hit the ink ribbon to produce the output. I don't know, have you ever seen a typewriter, how a typewriter works? Or if you go to the bank and you are given the receipt, you see the receipt from the bank, it has some holes on it. That's the output of the impact printers. So so we have this category number 1, then we have category number 2. We have what's called an impact printer. An impact printer, just hold on. Just give me like 3 minutes, I'm coming back. we can continue. So we were mentioning about non-impact printers. Let me just check something. I mentioned about non-impact printers, and we said unlike impact printers, these printers that, let me just see if I can draw again. These printers, I'm trying to write. These printers, they use a laser. They use a laser. Laser is a different technology where with printer spray ink on the piece of the paper, or use electromagnetism so that the characters are written on the output. So that's how non-impact printers work. So examples, maybe through the chat, can you give me examples of impact printers? Just mention impact printers, give example. Then also give me example of non-impact printers, just through the chat. Just say impact printers include, then mention. Non-impact printers include, then mention, so that we do something else because of time. Just mention examples of impact printers and also examples of non-impact printers, just through the chat. Okay, let me just check on the chat. Also, we were to mention about application software. Just to mention, and also we were to mention about utility programs. So we earlier on discussed about system software. I don't need to repeat this. And we say system software is also the same as the operating system. And you know the functions of the operating system. The functions of the operating system and how the importance of the operating system to the computer. So that's how we can classify. That's the general way we can classify computer softwares. That's the general way we can classify computer softwares. We also mentioned that we have softwares that are open source. stories like we lost the internet. It's like we lost the internet, but we are back. And we were discussing about softwares. We were discussing about softwares, and we have the system software, which we also call it the operating system. We have application software, then we have utility programs. So these softwares, we were also classifying them. We mentioned about open source. What does open source mean? Open source, it means that you can be able to customize the software, okay? You can be able to customize, just write well, can be able to customize the software interfaces. So we have some other items that maybe you can be able to change the outlook or the appearance of the software basing on your preference. Then we have closed source, okay? Closed source is that you cannot be able to customize. The software just come the way it is. So the codes, or those are codes, or maybe the lines, what maybe the languages that were used to come with that software, you cannot be able to access the codes. That's called the closed source. Then we have free. I don't know if I can call it as a freeware. Freeware, these are softwares that are available freely. These are software that are available freely. You don't need to pay for them. So like when you go to Play Store, Google Store, Apple Store, okay, we have those softwares that are available, so you don't need to buy them. Then we have what's called I don't know, proprietary software. Proprietary software, these are softwares that you need to purchase. You need to buy for you to use. And most of the time, they usually come with a license. Most of the time, they come with a license. You need to purchase those licenses for you to be able to use those software. Although we have some proprietary or over-the-shelf softwares that maybe they give you a trial period to use them. Then after that, you need to subscribe to them. Then you have the freeware. These softwares are free and you can be able to use them. So we have also softwares that are single. They come as a single app. They come as a single app. So you can just use that software, so they don't come as a package. Then we have software that comes with as a package, like Microsoft Office, okay? Microsoft Office, okay? They come multiple different applications meant for different tasks. Then we have like example like Adobe, okay? Adobe Photoshop, Adobe InDesign, InFusion. They are used for different purpose. So we have those software that come as a single app. Then we have software that's come as a suite, as a package. Several softwares usually produced by a given company. So that is how application software are. So application software, as its name suggests, these are software that are meant for specific applications. Like we have text, we have text editors, okay? Softwares that are meant for text editors, okay? We have softwares that are meant for presentation, okay? Maybe if you want to create a simulation, you come up with an application that we have browsers, okay? If you want to browse, we have antivirus, antivirus software. It's an application. We have spreadsheet. If maybe you want to calculate something on a spreadsheet, we have those softwares. We have database software that's used to run database software. Others include maybe if you want to edit video, okay? If you want to edit a video, there's a software that you need to install. If you want to record, okay? We have those play music. So we have those softwares that are meant for a specific function. So you cannot use a software that's meant to play music to edit, okay, text. So application softwares are meant to be used for particular purpose. Then we have these utility softwares. These utility programs, they usually comes with the operating system. Most they usually come with the operating system. These softwares help the operating system to work well. So we have those utility programs. I've said these are utility programs. They come with the operating systems and they assist the operating system in various functionality. Like maybe when I want to create a file, okay, there's a utility program that I'll use to create a file, okay? When I want to delete, when I want to compress, when I want to scan my computer. So we have utility programs that assist you to manage the resources. As the name suggests, they assist you to utilize some resources in the computer effectively. That's why they are called utility programs. For example, I have utility programs to defragment the disk, utility program to run antivirus, utility programs to compress file, utility programs to backup your data. So those are some of the utility. So if I want to backup, these are utility programs. Some operating systems usually comes with antivirus. We have, if I want to do a disk cleanup, okay, I have a utility program. If I want to do fragmentation, the operating system. If I want to create a file and manage it, so utility programs usually assist users when it comes to computer operations. That's all about application software. So you should be able to note down those particular types of application and utility programs. that are available for you to use. So we have mentioned about printers as output devices. Under the scanners, I remember we mentioned about scanners as input, and we have narrowed down to printers as the output, the main output, the devices. So that's all about application softwares. So let us have a look at there's something that we also covered last time. Let me just check. We mentioned about operating system, types of operating system. We mentioned about single program system, batch system, multi-access, and real-time system. So I think we need to have a look at let us have a look at computer languages. I think computer languages. I think this will be the fundamental building block on data processing. So we have 3 main languages that we can use to communicate with to a computer. We have 3 main languages that we can use to communicate to a computer. So we have a human language that we use. We have human language, like the one I'm using. These are human language. Yeah? Then this language needs to be translated because we said that a computer is a digital device. So for a computer to process human language, it needs to be translated by a translator. Okay? Needs to be translated by a translator. So computer has their own language that they use to communicate. And we call them as a binary code. We shall have a look at this. Okay? We say that a computer is a digital device. Don't know what does the term digital mean. Let us go back. We say that a computer is a digital device. So it means that a computer only understands digits, or we call them as we usually call them as binary digits. This is the only language that a computer understands. So there's someone who took the by and its and came up and called that this language is called bits, isn't it? So bits come from the word binary digits. Okay, so that's the only language that any computing device understand. So if we use a human language, we need to have a translator. Okay, we have some translator that translate spoken word to sign language. We have seen translators in church, they translate from vernacular to Swahili or to English. So our computer also have translators. And let us have a look at these translators. We have various types of translators. We have compilers. Compilers. Then also we have what's called interpreters. Interpreters. Hopefully you are making these notes. So the difference between a compiler and an interpreter is that a compiler usually checks the entire program. And if there's no error, it translates into machine language. So it translates the entire program into, we have said, machine language or computer language, what we have used earlier on. Then we have interpreter. So compilers interpret the entire, okay? It means if the computer is processing a program, it translates one at a time. But interpreters, the same way the interpreters they usually do in the churches, okay? You say a word or a sentence, they translate. You go to another sentence, they translate. So the difference between the interpreters, they translate one sentence at a time. Okay? They translate one statement at a time. Apart from that, we have another language. So we have said this is called, we have language 1, which is human language. We usually call this as a higher level. We call it as a high level language. These are high level language. So in exam, they can ask you what's a high level language. You can say that these are referred as languages that are convenient for a user to use the computer. These are human understandable language. Then we had number 2, computer language, or we usually call it as a machine. I've mentioned that this also is called as a machine language. Just see if I can select another. It's called as a machine language. We have also mentioned about the high level language. Then we have language number. Let me select the same color. We have what's called an assembly language. Number 3, we have an assembly language. So these are the assembly languages are a language that uses English like. They use English like phrases, or let me call it they use mnemonics. Like instead of writing move, I write move. It's like it shortens the high level languages. So assembly language usually use mnemonic codes rather than high level languages. For example, if I want to have A plus B, when I use assembly language, I can say A and B. Okay, that is assembly language. So this language was used by first generation and second generation, and it also requires a translator to convert it to machine language. And that translator that translates the assembly language to machine language is called an assembler. An assembler. An assembler is used to generate machine code from assembly language. Okay, that's all about computer language. So we have mentioned about high-level language. We have mentioned about machine language. We have also mentioned about assembly language. I think all of these are found on the notes. They're found on the notes. Let me just check. Let me just check something. Don't know which. Trying to check something. Okay. Okay, as I said, we are just revising what you covered by lecturer Peter, so that he introduces something new. We are just trying to recap what we covered before strike, so that you understand the concept well. So let us have a look at data processing. Data processing. I think we also covered something on data processing. So as you have realized, we need to process data on a computer, and a computer usually go through various steps for the data to be produced. So the way data is collected and processed on a computer usually depends on the processing mode this data is subjected to. So this data processing is all about how data is processed, and we call it as processing modes. Okay, so data can be processed once at a go. Data can be split into pieces and processed one piece at a time, and also data can be shared among computers. Also, we have a scenario where we have several computers that process the same data. Okay, so we have batch. I mentioned, remember we mentioned about batch processing. We mentioned about what else? If I can remember, we have time sharing. Time sharing. So this one, these two. We also mentioned about multitasking. Mentioned about multitasking. Or also mentioned, we also call it as a multi-programming. 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 We also mentioned about something called distributed data processing. And also we can add number 5, online processing system. Online processing system. Then also we have number 6. Apart from online, then we have what's called offline processing. processing systems. So we can go one by one. We can start with the batch. What are some of the characteristics of batch? Okay. When your help is processed, you are usually given a batch number, right? So from that, it means that in this technique of data processing, it means that items are collected. Items are collected. They are grouped together and then processed. That's called batch, isn't it? Together, isn't it? That's the characteristics of batch processing system. You say that data is collected, it's grouped and processed together to permit convenient and efficient processing. So data is collected over time. You need to submit your application, your profile, the guarantors, okay, the academic background, the family background. Then this data is processed at once. That's why you are grouped in various bands, and you are given a batch number. So what are some of the advantages of batch? Let me select another color. Let's write, okay. So we were working about batch processing. We have said that data is collected over time, stored and then processed. So the unit cost is low. Can say low cost. Then so we can say it's cheaper compared to other types of processing. And also you can say it's much simpler. And also you can say it's more secured because data need to be collected first. If there's an error, okay, if you have not submitted all the details, you are asked to submit all your details before you are given a go-ahead. So it's more secured, simple, it's free of error because there are some checks that are done before the job is processed. So those are some of the cons of batch processing. But the pros or the disadvantages of batch processing, it cannot make random inquiries. So data needs to be collected first, and if there's an error, you are asked to submit again. So we can say that in batch processing also errors are reported late because you need to submit your details, then it processes and then it gives you a feedback if there's an error. That's also another disadvantages. Also, information is also outdated. You see, because you need to collect this information. And sometimes maybe as the time moves, information changes. Today you don't have an ID, isn't it? Tomorrow you are having an ID. So it means that it collects outdated information. Sometimes also it produces unwanted information That's the disadvantages of batch processing. Let us have a look at batch. Let's have a look at time sharing systems. So this technique, it makes services available to a single user, to multiple users from a single computer. So this is a single computer, multiple users. Single computer, multiple users. So users log into the system. Users log into the system simultaneously, if that's the right word I can use. Simultaneously, or you can say concurrently. Okay. Users logs in the system concurrently, and the system usually provide a rapid response to each user. Okay, like a portal. Okay, like a portal. Your student portal, or even the e-learning portal. That's a single computer. Okay, but all of you can log into those systems at one. So there's an essence. There's an application of time sharing. So the computer usually gives you some time to process your data or your inquiries from the system. You yourself cannot know that someone else is using the same system. So there's a bit of time sharing of the processes, or maybe of the CPU from the computer system. So we have multiple users. Let us assume let us assume I have a computer system. Let me just let me assume I have a computer system. Then we have various users that log into this computer. We have user one. Okay, we have user one logs in the system. We have user two log into the system. We have user three. User three also logs into the system. Even user. So we have many users that use the same computer at the same time. So if we can go back to types of computers, we mentioned about mainframe computers, supercomputers. These are some of the computers, and with their characteristics, they can be able to provide time sharing to the users. So there's a use of single. There's use of single computer. There's the use of single computer. There's many users that are logged in through an interface. Users run independent programs. Okay, users logged into the independent programs. Just hold on. So that is the characteristics of time sharing. Another one is that each user have specific program. Specific program. There's fast response, okay? This fast response. So you are logged into the same server. You are logged into the same computer. And these are supercomputers, mainframe computers. So like applications like in universities, you have the student portal, okay? That's one computer that you are sharing, okay? We have the e-learning portal, okay? And very many more portals. Even the website is running on a single server that provides specific functionality as per your request. Cons, same as advantages of time sharing. Advantages number one, it reduces CPU idle time. Okay, we have realized that mainframe computers or these supercomputers, they have many CPUs. And these CPUs are programmed to run different processes at the same time. So rather than this CPU remaining idle, the introduction of time sharing, it makes the server busy. So these CPUs are very expensive. So time sharing reduces this CPU idle time. Time sharing systems are very powerful in nature. They are very powerful in nature. Another advantages of time sharing is it supports many users. And it's very fast. That's some of the advantages. Pros or disadvantages of time sharing is that these computers requires large storage. It requires large storage. So you have seen that these servers, they have thousands of gigabytes of storage. So, and you need storage is a bit expensive. So we can say they're costly. It's very costly to come up with a time sharing system. Another is that there's issues with security because you need to maintain the security of each and every user that is logged into the system. Let us have a look at multitasking. Stroke multi-programming. Multitasking, stroke multi-programming. So this is the ability of a computer to handle several programs, okay? Multitasking, we usually say that someone can multitask, okay? You can do one task at the same time doing another task, isn't it? You can be reading the same time you are listening to the music, the same time you are chatting on WhatsApp. Means that you are handling several programs concurrently. I think the keyword is concurrently, okay? Can handle many tasks concurrently. And what comes in place is the memory. So programs are stored on the primary memory. And these programs are switched to and from the CPU. Okay, these programs are switched to and from the CPU. And they usually go through what's called a cycle. So a program is fetched, don't know, decode, process, then stored on the main memory. So when it comes to multitasking, it means that these programs are queued. There's a queue. The same way when you go to the bank, you create a queue and you are held in a queue. Then these programs are usually called using a priority, okay? There's a priority that the operating system and the CPU uses to process those processes. Some of the priorities that the CPU uses, we have maybe the shortest job first, okay? We have some jobs that don't require a lot of time. So instead of the computer keeps these processes waiting, the computer can use the shortest job first. Or other priorities like maybe last in, first out, isn't it? As in and the processing imeanza mapema, hiyo ndio inaprocessiwa. Or maybe the shortest job remaining. So those are some of the priorities that multi-programming uses when they're processing these programs. So that's how multitasking or multi-programming works. Advantages: it supports many users. So time sharing has also multi-programming in it. There's direct access to CPU. So also it reduces CPU idle time. Disadvantages: of multitasking is that it requires powerful CPU, and a powerful CPU is expensive, right? It also requires powerful operating system, just not a normal operating system. Sometimes jobs wait for long. So there's some delays because sometimes when we base on this shortest job first, last in, first out, shortest remaining job first, you see, there's some delays before the output is given to these to those processes. Let us maybe wind up with distributed data processing. Distributed data processing. Use black. Distributed. Right again. distributed data processing. So in a distributed data processing, we have more than one computer processing your data. That's why it's called distributed. Okay. Like let us compare it during your admission. Okay. There were many computers that were processing your admission process. Okay. We have finance, hostels, cafeteria, security, ICT. So we have those many computers that are distributed and assist to process data. So this is a method of data processing where two or more computers are linked together for various users for the same processes. So can say many computers are linked together to process tasks. Also, another characteristic is that these computers are usually located in various regions. Okay, like in the banks, these computers are located in various regions. And they share the same data, or same region, or maybe same or several departments. So there's a bit of remote processing where, like, remember, there's a time when there's an election. I don't know, was it in 20? Okay, there's a time that we were told that the servers are located in Germany. Do you remember? So we had remote access of this distribution. So we have many servers that are processing the election process. Then we were told we have servers in Kenya. We have servers in the cloud. I heard there were some servers in the cloud. We were told that we had servers in Germany. Okay, this is a remote access of this distributed system. So it means there's more than one computer that's processing data for you to use. So what are some of the benefits of distributed? Is that what are some of the benefits of a distributed system? Errors can be corrected. Okay. They are more secured because we have many computers because of the backup. And also, if one system fails, other systems can continue to use. So there's less failure. There's less failure of the systems. And they are also fast because they are distributed across system. Disadvantage is that they are expensive. There's duplication of data, and also technology needs to be enhanced for them to be able to operate well. That are some of the disadvantages of distributed system. Allow me to introduce something else. Okay, we are just revising what we went through with the lecturer because you are almost doing the exam. You are almost doing the exam. And we are just going well. I think we are almost finishing the syllabus. Let us have a look at data communication. After this, prepare questions. I don't want to have questions now because of time. After this, be ready with the questions. I'll be able to answer all your questions. Data communication. What is data communication? Data communication is the transfer of data from one computer to another by the use of electronic means. So data transfer is the data transfer using electronics means. Okay? So if you are transferring data from one person to another, we call them as rumors. So that's not data. So when it comes to computing, we transfer data using electronic means from one point to another. So we have the source. I think we learned this. We learned this in communication skills. We have the source. The source feeds the data into an encoder. Okay. Then an encoder now feeds the data to a transmitter. Then transmitter feeds the data transmission medium. Let me just call it media. Then the media now delivers the data to the decoder. Then decoder now decodes the data to receiver. So that's the process where how data is transmitted. So we have the source is the computer that you are using. So when you are writing an email, or maybe when you are writing a message, you are writing something you want to communicate to someone, that someone must also have a computer from the end. Then we have an encoder. What's the functions of the encoder? Encodes, as its name suggests. It packages your message and makes your message transmittable by maybe giving it an address. Just the same way you put your letter through the post office. So when you take your letter to the post office, it's encoded. It's given the source address and the destination address. And also it's also packaged. So there's a way that we have said that data is transmitted in bits. So the source takes the message in high-level language, then convert it to machine languages, then it transmits it as form of zeros and ones. Then after that, it feeds into the transmitter. So we have a gadget. This is a gadget somewhere that now receives the encoded message and feeds it into a media. This media, we have said we have a wired, or we have a wireless media. Then once it receives, when it gets to the other side of the receiver, it's decoded. It's decoded into readable or understandable message. Then the receiver can as well now be able to get the information. So it means before data is transmitted, it must first be transformed into a form that it can be packaged and delivered well with the source and destination address. So It means that the message needs to be coded such a way that computers can understand. I don't want to go into that because I will be confusing you. Let us start with the transmission media. Transmission media. So we have two types of transmission media. We have guided, then we have unguided. So this is more of physical channel, and maybe we can mention about copper wires, or we can mention about fiber. Okay. We shall be able to. Then we have unguided. On the other hand, this use waves, okay, like radio waves. We shall have a look at that. So let us have a look at guided media. Guided media. So I think you have seen a telephone cable. Even in when you go to the computer labs, you see we have some cables that are connected to the computer for it to be connected on the internet. Even if you go to the cyber, you see there's a cable. Each computer is connected by a cable so that get connected to the internet. So it means we have wires that are used to transmit. We have wires that are used to transmit information from one point to another. Then these wires can be grouped together for the data to be transmitted. So example for guided media, we have coaxial cable. Like, I don't know, have you seen the cable that's used for the aerial, TV aerial? So those are some of the cables that can be used to connect one computer to another. So we have the inner conductor. I think it looks, let me just try and draw. I don't know if I'm good at drawing. Cable wire looks, coaxial cable looks something like that. So we have this one, the inner, this is a copper wire, this one. Then we have a mesh, something like a mesh, several cables. Then we have this one. This one is more of an insulator. Let me just select another. Let me select another color. So we have the insulator. I'm trying to draw. I don't know if I'm good at drawing. Then we have this other cable that. Then we have the insulator. Yeah. Then we have the. I'm not good. I think you can go to the library and have a look at that one. This is the coaxial. The coaxial cable is an example of the guided media. Another guided media, we have optical. Or let me mention about the Ethernet cable. Ethernet cable. So it's used to connect cable. It's a cable that's used to connect computers. It's the latest technology. So we have those that are unshielded. Unshielded shall have. We have those ones that are shielded, twisted cable, and most of them are usually twisted. We have many cables in between that one that they are used to connect Ethernet. Then we have optical, which is now the latest. We also call it as a fiber. We usually call it as a fiber cable. It uses, so coaxial, this uses electricity. It uses electricity to transfer data. Ethernet also uses current, electricity to transfer data. Fiber, on the other hand, uses light. It uses light as a form of transmission. So can you compare the advantages through the chart? What's the advantages of optical over the Ethernet cable? Just through the chart. Can you list advantages of optical cable over copper wire? Advantages of optical fiber through the chart. Let me see if you are following. Just see if you are following. Optical are immune to electromagnetic interference. That's good, Edgar. Edgar, that's good. Okay, copper is expensive, is less expensive, while optical fiber is expensive. It covers long distances. We mambo ya exam wachana nazo. Okay, let us focus. Focus, my friend. Focus. Okay. So it's more secured. Optical is more secured. It's much faster. Covers long distances. Yeah, nyinyi watu hata mnajua bana. You know these things. You know these things. You are ready. I think you are ready for exams. And the look of things, you guys, you are ready. At power of ChatGPT, you do not have ChatGPT in exams. You are found with a phone in the exams. PO box nyumbani. 1,000 days. My power 1,000 days academic year. Don't try. So that's the advantages of optical. It's very difficult to tap. Yeah, you cannot tap the signal because disadvantages of optical is expensive. It requires it requires specialist. And how do we measure the speed of data transfer? Okay. Ukinunua 10 MBs, 10 MBs. Wengine amenunua 20 MBs. Wengine amenunua 30 MBs. Megabytes, isn't it? So when we measure the speed of any, so the speed of any network is enhanced by the technology that has been used to to connect computers. It also guided by the speed of how data is transferring. We have something called bandwidth. Okay. So when you want to connect your computer to the internet, you need to find about bandwidth. Bandwidth, the speed, the transfer rate of how data is transferred from one computer to another. Unguided media, on the other hand, is more of wireless. So there's no wire in between the computers. So it's more of wireless. And this wireless example, like Wi-Fi, don't know what does Wi-Fi means. Let me delete. Okay. Examples of unguided media, we have Wi-Fi. Okay. We have Bluetooth. You can transfer data by the use of the Bluetooth. You can transfer by the use of microwave. Okay. Or some use radio wave. Some use satellite to communicate with each other. So microwaves like Bluetooth, I don't know which technology does a remote user. Then radio wave. Radio wave is like, we have those masks. Let me call them masks. Okay. Or we call them, you call them boosters. Boosters, isn't it? You had another booster. Is like in between here in Kibabi, we have many boosters. One for Safaricom, another one for radio stations, another one for Airtel. And they usually use radio wave technology or microwave technology. So data is transferred through space from one booster, from one radio mask to another one. So like you have seen, we have those antennas that you usually see that are located on a mountain. Okay. Let me try and draw. They have something like a dish, something like that. Then we have another booster. So that's the booster. Then you see they usually found at the top of the mountain. I'm not good at drawing. Let me try. I'm not good at drawing. Let me try and draw. So we have those. This is another hill. So these are hill. We see another hill. We have. So these are boosters. They usually produce a microwave that they communicate to and fro. That's why they must suited on a line of sight. And sometimes if something pass in between, the signal will be lost. And sometimes we also even lose signals if there's rain. So they must place in a line of sight. And this booster is also communicating with another one. Assume I have another one here. So they usually communicate by those radio waves. That's a form of unguided media. Then you have satellite that orbits around the sky. Like you have seen Starlink. Okay, Starlinks use satellite. Zugu also used to have internet connection, and they must be facing a specific direction. Even StarTimes and DSTV, you have seen that they are usually facing a specific direction so that they can locate the satellite on the way. So can you maybe mention advantages of wireless transmission as we have a look at the computer networks? I think we shall stop at computer networks. We shall stop at computer networks. I don't know if the time allows. Computer networks. Yeah. So what's a network? Is the interconnection of computers. So if you want to connect one computer to another, it forms what's called computer network. And why do we interconnect computers? We interconnect computer for the sake of sharing resources. These resources include transmission media, can share files, email, social media, isn't it? For that sake. That's why you have a computer. And we can classify computer networks. Let us classify computer network classification. I think we're just revising classification of computer networks. So computer networks can be classified according to the coverage. Yeah? So from my desk, I can have one computer. Let us assume this is my computer. I want to connect this computer to another computer over a desk. Just two computers, even in your room, you can connect one computer to another computer, okay? Over a desk. We call this as a PAN. PAN means personal area network. This is a network that can cover a desk. You can connect one computer to another. On your desk, you can connect your computer with that computer of your colleague through a cable or through wireless, Bluetooth or whatever, through Wi-Fi to call a personal area network. Then I can have a computer. Let's assume I have computers, several computers in a room. Maybe let's assume in lab 1, okay? These computers are connected. Let us assume I have a switch. Let me connect them through a switch. Connect these computers through a switch. So let us assume this is a room 1. Then I can have some other computers in the library or in the admissions office or maybe in the student finance. They're also connected maybe through a switch. And I want to connect this computer with this computer. So these computers are in a building. Let us assume these computers that are in a ABC. Okay. So if we connect computers with a small area, like a campus or a building, let us assume this is a main campus. So we call this as a LAN. If we connect computers with a small area, just as a campus or a building, we call it as a LAN, local area network. So we have a PAN, we have LAN, where we connect computers in a campus. Then sometimes we can have a campus here. Let us assume we have computers in the main campus. Okay. Let's assume this is a computer in the main campus. Let's assume this is our main campus and these computers are connected together. Let's assume through a switch. This is the main campus. Then we have another campus. Let us assume we have another campus, town campus, Kitale campus, Nairobi campus. Okay. Let's assume this is a town campus. And then town campus, we want to connect this computer from the town campus to the main campus. Okay. We call it as a MAN. What's MAN? Metropolitan. Metropolitan area network. So metropolitan within a town or a region, call it metropolitan area network. Then we have computers that we want to connect computers all over the world. Let us assume this is Africa, this is Asia, this is yeah. So we have computers that are in Africa. Let us assume these are continents, and we want these computers to be connected globally. Okay. It usually form what's called as a WAN or a wide area network. Wide area network. So wide area network is the connection of computers globally, or let us call it as the internet. And for you to connect your computers to the internet, call it as www, wide WAN. That's about computer networks. Then let us finalize by having a look at network topologies. Network topologies. A topology. The word topo means arrangement. Okay. You have heard about topography. What's the topography? It's hilly, it is mountainous. Okay. So network topology is how pattern computers makes, or how the computers can be interconnected, or the physical layout. Let me just use the word physical layout of computers on a network. The physical network, a layout of computers in a network forms a network topology. So we can have a bus. A bus is a cable that's running, and I can connect computers to this bus. This bus allows computers to be connected together. So this is a bus. I think you remember when we mentioned bus. What's a bus? It's the pathway, the path where data is transferred. So we have computer 1, computer 2, computer 3, computer 4, computer 5, and they're connected on a bus. So in this topology, the computers are connected. So let us start with the bus topology. Computers are attached to a bus as shown. So it's more easier. One of the advantages is easier to configure this topology. But if this bus breaks, what if this bus breaks here? Okay, let me see if I can break here. Okay, I'll break it. Okay, if the bus breaks, if this bus breaks here, you'll see these computers will not be able to communicate. So this bus acts as the bottleneck by which if this bus breaks, makes it be, the whole system is down. It's also complex. We can say it's very complex. It leads to traffic because let's assume each computer is communicating. This bus, which acts as a highway, it will have a traffic. It will have a traffic. So that's some of the advantages of bus communication. So there's a lot of collision. There's a lot of collision when it comes to bus topology. Let us have a look at another topology. We have another topology where we have a hub. A hub is more of a switch. Okay. A hub is is like an extension. Then we connect computers to this. Connect computers to this hub because it supplies the internet. Okay. So this computer 1, computer 2, computer 3, computer 4. Assume we have even computer 5. So you see this, it forms something like a star, isn't it? So we call it as a star topology. Star topology. So computers are connected to form something like a star, and they communicate. For computer 1 to send data to computer 3, the data must first pass through the hub before it arrives. So it's like a hub is a distributor. It's a distributor of data. That is how a hub looks like. I don't know what's the advantages of star. Star is very simple, but it becomes complex when you introduce a lot of computers. You see, it becomes a lot of cables, a lot of cabling. So sometimes also if the hub fails, okay, if this hub fails, it means the entire computer, the entire network, it's down. The entire network is down. That's a star. Sometimes also we can connect computers in a circular manner. You can have computer 1, computer 2, computer 3, computer 4, computer 5, computer 6, computer 7, computer 8. Let me label them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we can connect one computer to another. Okay, can connect one computer to another to form what's called as a ring topology. This is a ring. This is a topology number 3, a ring topology. So it requires, as you will see, it requires one computer to connect to 2 other computers. So it requires a lot of cabling. And if this path fails, let's assume we cut this path here. And you see, data can only be transmitted in one direction. So if computer 5 wants to communicate to computer 4, so the data must pass through these other computers before it arrives to computer 4. So it means one computer can communicate at a time. So it means there's a lot of delays. And if this ring breaks at one point, it means the entire network is down. So for a computer to communicate, it must have a token. So sometimes they usually call it as a token ring topology. So a computer must have a token for it to be able to communicate with each other. Then let us assume we have computers in a room, okay? And we want each and every computer to connect to each other. That's just let me just. So I want these computers connect to each other. Let me just try if I can connect all. Okay, it's okay, I'm trying to see. Okay, although I will not be able to connect each and every computer. So it forms something like, I don't know if it's number 4, mesh, isn't it? Mesh topology. So in a mesh topology, each and every computer must connect to each and every computer. So it's more complex as you introduce many computers. This network becomes very complex to configure. Okay, the cablings makes the configuration complex, very hard, expensive, and it's also very difficult to troubleshoot. It's also very difficult to troubleshoot if the network fails. All these nodes are found on the e-learning portal. So that's all. What else? Yeah, I think that's enough. The last topic. Things all about data representation. We shall cover this. This will be our last topic about number. Is it data or is it data or number? I think it's supposed to be data. Data representation. Handwriting kama ya daktari man. Yeah. So we have said that a computer is a digital device. Computer is a digital device. It means it operates or it understands machine language. It only understands machine language. So for a computer to understand machine language, and this machine language is form of bits. Bits tumesema that's a binary digits. Tusema tulichukua b plus its tukaform bits, si ndio? That's how bits. In zeros, bits are 0 and 1. So a computer can only understand 0 and 1. So if we give a computer high-level language, that's human language. It means a computer needs to compile that language into machine language, which is in binary digits, 0 and 1s. So next week shall be able to cover how a computer can convert decimal numbers. Decimal numbers, these are numbers that ranges from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. How many are they? There are 10. 1, 2, there are 10. So decimal numbers, we usually call them as base 10 numbers. So as we have said, computer only understands zeros and ones. So we need to convert these numbers into binary code. We need to convert this number into binary numbers. So we have said computer only understands binary language or binary numbers. And we have said these are zeros and ones. So we shall be able to know how we can convert this one binary numbers. Although we have other numbers. So there are 2, isn't it? 0 and 1. So if there are 2, we call them as base 2. This one were base 10. I'm just introducing this topic so that next week Musihang have a base 2. Then we have what's called hexadecimal. Hexadecimal numbers. We have hexadecimal numbers. Then apart from hexadecimal, let me introduce octa first. Okay. We have octal numbers. Octal numbers. Octal numbers, they range from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. From 0 to 7. So how many are they? Are they 8? So we call them as base 8. Base 8 numbers. Then we have hexadecimal numbers. We shall be able to know how this exactly. I don't want to confuse you today because we have covered a lot. The called base 16. Base 16. Okay, we shall be able to introduce this topic again. I think Mr. Barasa will be around to do that conversion. Then after that, we shall have some arithmetic operations. Arithmetic. Sasa kwa hii unit tutafanya pia mahesabu. We shall be able to add, subtract, to multiply, and to divide these numbers. 0 plus 0, 0 plus 1, 1 plus 1. Okay, when it comes to binary octal. So these are the four number systems that computer understands. Be able to cover it next week on Monday. We have covered a lot, so let me go to the chat if you have any question on the chat. Okay, I'm getting you loud and clear. So that's all. I think we need now to go to the e-learning. Then we were supposed to do a cut. We were supposed to do a cut. I don't know. Can we do that cut after the next week, after the lesson of next week? If I'm just going through the chat. No, I don't want to introduce number system. We have covered the 3 topics within 2 hours. So number system, we shall do it next week. So next week, let us do the cut after the lesson. We shall be able to announce. Let prepare the cut. Because you see, we delayed the cut because we have some of you who reported late. Some of you who reported late, you have not even done cut 1. Okay? Some of you reported late and you have not even done cut 1. So if we were to give you cut 2, you could have failed with the third. So that's why we postponed the cut. Matters dealing with the exam, the registrar will communicate, okay? The registrar will communicate matters dealing with the exams. But meanwhile, can you try and occur the semester? If that's the word I can use. Try and occur the semester, have group discussion, make sure you have done all the cuts, so that even if the exams comes, at least you have covered a lot. So someone's reminded me about hybrid. Hybrid topology is if you can mix 2 topologies together. You can mix ring and mesh. You can mix bus. Okay, with the star, it forms a hybrid topology. That no, I cannot go beyond that. Cannot teach more than 2 hours. I will be overloading you. Okay, tree topology. I've just like a tree. Yeah, I think you guys. I think you are ready for exam. Najua you are mentioning what I have skipped. Tree topology. Someone is mentioning about hybrid topology. You know, if you have the content, it means that you guys let us just, I think if we are done with the number system, you guys, you can do the exam. No, you cannot redo the cut. No, the cut, once it has been done, you need to pass or fail. You need to pass or fail. Yes. Yeah. Matters dealing with the tree topology and the hybrid topology. Enda kwa notes. Ziko kwa e-learning. Let me go and open the e-learning so that you can access the number system data representation. So that nataka mkue mbele yangu, so that if next week we are meeting, you will have a fresh memory. So let me go and let me open everything. I'm going just to open everything so that you now prepare for exams. Najua in university nitakana vitu zingine hata unajisomea. I was not supposed even to revise with you. Na tu wenye walilia, oh, we need to revise what we have covered. So that's why kama uko na swali, let me unmute. Let me unmute you. No, you raise up your hand. Kama uko na swali, you raise up a hand. Kama uko na swali, you raise up your hand, I unmute you. Sababu unmute kila mtu. Unmute kila mtu italeta issue. So kama uko na swali, you let me open everything that's remaining on this course so that tukikutana next week, you'll be unajisomea, kwa sababu hata tunaweza kusema sasa the remaining section ujisomee, kwani iko nini? Si ulikuja kusoma. Don't need to spoon feed you with a lot of testament. I'm going to open data communication. Or data communications on data representation. Yeah, let me unhide. Let me show this one. So go through data representation, but the cut will cover what we have covered up today. So Soma, what we have. So go through data representation. Yeah, you see the issues: binary, decimal, octal. Acha pia nifungue hii octal. So that wakisema mtihani next week kikurambe kikurambe wewe peke yako. Sema ati hatukusoma, iko kwa e-learning. Hexadecimal, let me open this hexadecimal. Nani ingine? Then we shall have a cut. Okay, next week we shall have a cut. This cut we shall be put, let me see where we can put this cut. Hii cut acha niweke after. Let me hide this one. This cut will come immediately under data communication. Then niweke hii cut hapa. I think it's supposed to be cut 2. Niweke hii cut hapa. Niite cut 2. Let me call it cut 2. Let me call it continuous assessment test test 2. So that ukae ukijua next week continuous assessment test. Time, date itakuwa lini? Monday itakuwa tarehe ngapi? Monday itakuwa tarehe 2. Tarehe 2 mwezi wa 12 2024. Time, sitaki kusema time. Hiyo time mwenyewe utajitafutia. After, let me say after lesson. But sitaki kuweka time nyinyi wenyewe mtaanza kutense. Jua mna tense nini mkiona kati. Itakuwa tarehe 2 December. 2 December. What's this? Tarehe 2 December. Hii time ndabadilisha. So let me just make this cut to be there so that mkae mkijua next week kuna cut 2. Wenye hawajafanya cut 1, I don't know what can we do. For those who have not done cut 1, sijui tutawasaidia aje. Tuesday, Wednesday. Can they do it on Wednesday? Wednesday. No, for those who have not done cut 1, I want you to do that cut before you do this cut 2 next week. For those who have not done cut 1, I want you to do that cut before you do this cut 2 next week. So you must do that cut within this week. Cut iko hapo nimeiweka, ujipange nayo. So someone has raised, acha niangalie wamebeba mkono. Disante Urail. Or let me just, yes.
Thank you, sir, for the lesson. My question was, when you delete images in a computer or a phone, where do they go when they're deleted permanently?
So it's like the memory, that address is gone. No, that is usually stored by the use of an address. So when you delete, it's like you have reprogrammed the memory. You have erased, so that space becomes empty. That's how I can say, if you delete that in your computer, it wipes and maybe declares that memory as 0 megabytes. So it's like I cannot explain a lot more than that unless I dive into computer science. It's like that memory location is declared 0 megabytes. Any other question? Let me unmute. You can unmute if you have any question. You can unmute. Ask. Yes, Immaculate. No, I have made. If you have any question, you can unmute. Sasa nataka kuongea. Sasa kama mna maswali basi.
How can you?
Okay, for those who did not do the cat one, let us do it on Wednesday. I'll open that cat on Wednesday. So for those who have not done cat one, let us do it on Wednesday this week. Yes. Someone is
Can
talking.
you delete the unit that you have enrolled yet you are not taking it?
On the student portal, you go to ICT, they will delete for you.
How can you unenroll the unit that you have enrolled?
You'll come, I show you what to do that.
How can you?
You'll come and show you what to do.
Where?
BB 101.
Wow. Okay. Thank you.
Next question. Wasichana mnakuwa na mchezo. Any question?
Hello, natumai unanipata. Swali langu ni
Ongea tu akiuliza maswali za ujinga.
Are we going to have the exam in December?
It will be communicated. It will be communicated from the register academics. I cannot say about that.
I know some of us are far away from school. I don't know how it will be.
You should come back. You should come back. Who told you to go away? You should come back.
We are having no classes.
Yeah, the strike is over. Come back. Come back.
Kuinama ilikuwa imechosha.
Kuja na mahindi, beba na mahindi, kuja na mahindi, magwe, mapela, kuja nayo.
What if hakutakuwa na exam, tutasoma tu ama?
Si tumeanza kusoma hata next week tunasoma.
Okay, sawa. Hiyo tu ilikuwa shida yangu kabisa.
Sawa, wewe beba chakula kuja nayo. Next question.
No, sasa nilikuwa na swali la kuuliza ikiweka nilikuwa nauliza kuna vile system last year kuna vile tulikuwa tuna download past papers but kwa saa hii wakachange the way ya kudownload past papers. Sasa ukienda kudownload unapata kama ni paper moja iko hapo.
Okay, go and find out from the library. The library departments who usually manage the past papers. If you have any issue, go and find out from the library. From the library, right?
Nilikuwa nauliza kuna kazi kwa e-learning portal. Sasa inafaa tufanye but una collect in HP form, tunafanya aje?
Kuja nionyeshe, I can guide. I'm not aware of it. Just come ABB 101. Yes.
Sawa.
Yes, uliza.
Tulifanya jambo lingine ilikuwa gani?
Bana, mimi nakumbuka tumefanya cut moja hapo under topic 3. Sasa kama wenye hajafanya hiyo cut wakuje, I think they will do it on Wednesday. For those who have not done cut 1 to do it on Wednesday.
Alafu mimi nilikuwa na niliangalia temp. Alafu
you'll come, we have a look at it. Acha nimalize. Wenye wako na shida na e-learning, please, ABB 101 is open. Come for assistance.
Kazi yako mzuri unakuwa watu ni kubaya hata.
Sawa, nda post number kama mtaka kunibayia lunch.
Wapi huko?
Ndio post number, si mmesema mtaka kunibayia lunch.
Post wapi?
Okay, meanwhile guys, let us plan and join the next class from 11.
Yangu nimesikia.
Yes, let us plan and